Do the incentives being offered by new construction home builders in Manatee and Sarasota counties also apply to cash buyers? You need to know about this, so stay tuned. I'm bringing this up today because I'm seeing it in my own business with my own buyers, and I want you to be aware of it. It always comes up in conversation when I take buyers around and we go to new construction home building sites and we look at the model homes and how cool they are and how great the floor plans and all the decorations and that sort of thing. And then we talk with our sales reps, and there are great sales reps at all of the local builders here, and they'll tell us things like, here are the incentives that the builder is offering. Sometimes it's cash towards your closing costs. They'll pay a certain portion. Sometimes they'll pay them all. There are also incentives towards buying down the interest rate, which is really popular right now, even though rates have been coming down. Yay! But yeah, so we're finding this out when we go to these model home complexes that there are incentives. The question that needs to be asked, though, is what are the incentives for cash buyers? Because what we're finding out, and this is very true, is that for a cash buyer, they're not offering a lot of incentives. I know, and that really kind of sucks, because we've always believed that cash is king, right? Well, in this case, cash isn't necessarily king. Before we dive in, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel so I can keep this stuff coming at you. Let's dive in. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. Catherine, why is it that people that are financing a home get more incentives from the builder than people that are paying cash? That just doesn't seem fair, and that's correct. But I want you to remember that these incentives are always tied to you, the buyer, using the builder's preferred lender. Now, sometimes it's an in-house company, financing company, and that's all they use. And sometimes there are builders that have maybe a few different preferred lenders that they want you to use. And because these builders build a lot of homes, some of them are national builders, so they build all over the country, even local ones that build all over the state. Because they're tied to these preferred lenders, they want you to use them in order to get the incentives. Now, if you don't have to, there's no fast rule that you have to use them, but you will not get the incentives, the financing incentives, any extra cash for closing costs or any of that sort of thing if you don't use their preferred lenders. And of course, remember that they have deep pockets, these lenders, right? Because they do so many loans for these builders that they're able to offer these kind of incentives. I know some builders that are offering, $10,000 for closing costs, $15,000, $20,000 for closing costs. And of course, when you're paying cash, your closing costs are so much less anyway, because you don't have all of the lender fees and origination fees and things like that. So of course it makes sense for the builder to offer some sort of financing incentive for those that cannot pay cash because they need to get a loan. Sometimes it does happen that there are builders that offer something called flex cash. And flex cash means it's flexible, duh, and you can use it to buy down the mortgage rate. Some people use it to pay for all of their closing costs, or at least a portion of them, since it's so expensive. Closing costs, crazy, out of this world prices right now for closing costs. But they get to use that flex cash for that sort of thing. And sometimes they'll even offer flex cash if that builder has perhaps a design studio where you go and pick out the choices for your home. Sometimes they'll give you options there that you can use it to pay down some designer options or things like that. But that doesn't mean they offer flex cash all of the time. Many times flex cash is used for certain inventory homes, meaning they have them, they're all ready to roll, or they're going to be ready to go in a month or two, maybe 3 months, something like that, and they're ready to sell those homes, get them under contract. They'll offer better incentives. So point number one, if you're looking for a house, the best prices are always going to be something that the builder has as an inventory home. Then you'll see that they're offering a little more in financing incentives, both for mortgaging and for cash. So don't expect every builder to do this flex cash where you could use it either or, loan or cash. But here's what I'm finding. A lot of you guys that are coming down and we're meeting together, a lot of my buyers right now, They want to buy when they see a great deal. So like I said, a lot of builders have inventory homes that are ready to roll, and that's where the really big incentives are. $20,000 off, options at the design center, or maybe $75,000 towards design, or maybe they're paying all of your closing costs, plus they're giving you something to help buy down the rate for a loan. And you guys are coming down here, and we are driving around to all the great communities in Palmetto and Parrish and Lakewood Ranch and Bradenton and Sarasota. You're finding something that you want because you want to take advantage of the prices that we have currently. Now, I know that I've been telling you, and it's true, prices have been coming down over the last few months right here in Manatee and Sarasota County. Now, we're not seeing huge reductions. Now, sometimes in those inventory homes where the builders want to get those homes off their books so they can start more projects, yes, you might see $20,000 off, 40, 50, just depends on where they are and how many homes they want to get done, whatever that builder is. So if you think that we're going to have a drastic reduction in pricing here in Manatee and Sarasota County, it's just not going to happen, not drastically. Yes, they've been coming down, but they have not come down drastically, and I don't believe we're going to see that. Remember, we are the endless summer state, and people want to come here all the time. They want to move here, they want a vacation here, sometimes they want a staycation here. They're buying something, maybe living in another place 6 months of the year, coming here for 6 months, or they want a place where they can come with their family and eventually retire to. And that's what I'm finding for most of my buyers right now, is they want to go ahead and take advantage of these prices now because they're going to continually rise over the next 5 years and continually go up. And there are those of you that are retiring maybe in 3 to 4 or 5 years, and you want to take advantage of the prices that we have currently so that when you're here to live full time in 4 or 5 years, you don't have to pay the prices in 5 years.
Right now. Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
So you're buying something now that you can enjoy as a vacation home until you retire and move down here full time. Now, the reason you would know about really great deals on houses is because when you call and you and I talk about what your plans are, what your journey is like coming here to these areas in Manatee and Sarasota County, we're talking about what your long-term goals are. What are you trying to do? Do you want a vacation home? Do you want an investment home? Do you want to retire here now? You want to do it later? We're talking about what your plans are, what works best for you. And then you're going to tell me what price range you're looking in. What is the criteria that you want for your house? Bedrooms, bathrooms, does it have a pool? Does it not need to have a pool? 3-car garage, 2-car garage, whatever it is. We're talking about those things. And then of course I set you up like any other agent could, an automatic MLS search. And then those homes pop up on your email as they're fed into the MLS system. And every day you know what currently meets your criteria, meets your budget, and you're able to look at those homes and say, wow, I just saw this one 3 weeks ago. It looks like there's been a price reduction. Or I see now that the builder in this particular community in Parrish or Lakewood Ranch or wherever, I noticed that now they've lowered the price and they're offering more incentives. So that's how you guys know that there are homes here that sometimes are a really, really great deal. Every week I get an update from my sales reps at all of the local builders in both counties, Manatee and Sarasota, and I'm getting their updated inventory list. And of course they change their incentives, kind of like people change underwear.
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants.
Okay, well maybe not that frequently. Well, I hope frequently. But they are changing it sometimes on a weekly basis because again, we are in our biggest buying and selling season here in Florida because it's season and all of the snowbirds are here from other states, other countries, and they're here to purchase, they're here to check out what it would be like for them to live in the endless summer state or have a staycation home, whatever it is they want. And because it's season right now in our biggest buying and selling season, we're noticing that the builders are kind of, like I said, at the end of 2023, they're gonna check things out, see what kind of traffic they have from buyers, see if they've got a lot of people responding to their products. Are there more buyers in the market right now? And of course, I've seen an increase of you guys calling and us meeting together. I've had way more people go under contract at this time of year. So I think that that's probably what other agents are seeing as well. Other real estate companies are seeing. So the builders are weighing that out and seeing if they raise the prices, if they lower the prices. Do we offer this incentive? What seems to be working? What do the masses seem to want? Do they want the interest rate to buy down? Do they want money to pay for closing costs? What is it that people want? That's what the builders are looking at right now. And that's how they make their decision on what kind of incentives they offer. And again, those incentives can change every month, every few weeks, sometimes every week. So if you want to make sure you're not missing out on any deals going on right now, please make sure to reach out. Make sure to let me know what you're looking for. Give me a call, we'll chat and find that out so I can set you up on the same system, because you don't want to miss out if you're in the market and you're really looking for something to take advantage of the pricing now, as opposed to waiting, as the years go on and paying a little bit more and maybe missing out on some really great properties. So I said all of that because I want you to be aware, if you are a buyer and you are going to be using a mortgage, meaning you want to get a loan on the house that you're buying here in Florida, then you're going to have those incentives available to you per builder, and you can decide how you want to use them. However, if you are a cash buyer, you need to be aware that the incentives are going to be either less for you, which is pretty much the case, or different for you.
Shut up!
So again, many of you that are coming down here and you want to take advantage of the market now and you're buying something, a lot of you are deciding to upfront go with a mortgage because you want to take advantage of the incentives. But remember, if you switch to a cash purchase in the middle of the time that the house is getting ready, maybe it's got a few more months, it's got to be built, it's got to be completed, and you switch to a cash purchase, then a lot of those incentives will go away, because remember, they're tied to using the preferred lender from the builder. So if your thinking is we want to find something, we'll start off with a mortgage because we want to go home and we want to sell our house, because let's say that you found something and it's got another 4, 5, 6 months to go before it's completed. A lot of my buyers are doing that. They find something, they know they want to go home and sell, because they live in another state where the market is more seasonal than what we have. Meaning, they don't typically put their homes on the market until maybe early spring. They hit their market so they can make the most money. And if that's you, a lot of buyers here are doing the same thing. They are putting a mortgage on it when they go under contract. And then once they go home, they have time, they get their home under contract. Once it's under contract and it closes, then we go back, we do an addendum with the builder and we say, hey, we're no longer doing a financed purchase. We are going to pay cash for the house. So what happens to that incentive money is something you need to know when you write the contract with the builder for the financing at the very beginning. So if that's you, and you're going to start off with a mortgage on a house here in Manatee or Sarasota County, or pretty much anywhere in Florida, if you're going to start with going the financing route, but you know that your home is going to sell pretty decently, decently quick. Your home is going to sell, let's put it that way. And then you want to take the proceeds, switch it to a cash option, then up front, with that contract, when we write that contract with the builder, we want to say, okay, what incentive can we write in if I switch this on an addendum later to a cash purchase? I want it in the original contract saying that if we switch to cash midstream, this is how much I want for an incentive from the builder. Now, will all builders offer that? No.
No way.
No way.
I don't want you to be upset and think that you didn't know up front, because a lot of builders, they're just not going to offer it to you. If you switch to cash, you get nothing. However, if we can negotiate that at the beginning when you're looking at getting a financed home first, then it's written into the contract that we'll do an addendum later for X amount, whether you want to use it for closing costs or you want to take it off the price of the house. That really is the best option, is to start off making sure that if you're going to switch to cash later, that we're asking for some sort of incentive up front. And again, a lot of times that's negotiable, and sometimes they're just not going to offer it at all, but at least we start the process at the beginning, which I think is why it's really important that you have an agent working for you on your behalf to remind you of these things and make sure that that contract at the very beginning is going to state some sort of cash incentive from the builder to you if you switch to a cash option later on in the game before your home is finished. And I've said this many, many times. If you're not using me as your agent, that's cool. Find someone you really want to work with. There are really great agents here in Manatee and Sarasota County that will do a wonderful job for you. But whoever you're working with, just make sure you're telling them that you want to make sure that that is in your contract up front, because why not try to get some money from the builder if you're using cash? And if you're not currently working with a buyer's agent, when you come down here to check out the areas and see what's around, I would love to meet up with you, talk with you about what you're looking for, what you might want. I can share my story and how we came here from Colorado and what appealed to us, what didn't appeal to us. And I'm going to be real upfront with you about certain things here in this market. Every market is different. It's going to be totally different from where you're coming from. So I just want to make sure that you have all of the details before you start your search. Please don't hesitate to reach out and give me a call and tell me what your plans are. And I would love to see you next week when we have a new video available. So make sure you like this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel so I can keep this information coming at you. Just trying to watch your back here with the mortgage versus cash thing. So I'm Catherine Newman. I look forward to seeing you next week. See you then.